Hi Taurus, welcome to your July 2023 Astro-Tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. Whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Taurus, this is for you, and I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything is going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment, and if you are only going to watch one, guarantee you it's best to watch your ascendant, because these are based on the astrology, right? So I use whole sign tropical Western astrology, and if you want to get the most out of these, check for your ascendant. It's likely to be the most accurate. Now I'm trying something new. I'm throwing this in. It's just a little tiny tidbit. Let me know if you like it. So your themes for the month, certainly for this reading anyway, are self-reliance and self-esteem, home and pleasure. All right, so there's your overview for this month. Now on the 1st of July, Venus, your ruling planet, the lady of luck, harmony, diplomacy, worth, value, self-worth, value, esteem, etc., is coming into, or should I say, is in the sign of Leo, and is going to be there for a while longer. If you didn't get your seat on the Venus webinar, get that on the link in the description. You can watch the replay. There's a few goodies in there as well, so trust me, you'll want to see. Now, your ruling planet is going to be in your 4th house, and it's going to be squaring Uranus in your 1st house, right? So this is a big deal, because this could be disruptions to relationships of all kinds, but it might come from like an unexpected source. So you might find that what you want for yourself and what you've decided, like what you've now decided that you need, comes into a bit of conflict with what's required and desired from you on the home front. Venus in your home and family house now is going to be there for 4 months, is improving home and how you live there. Maybe just enjoying your home more. It could also be costing you a pretty penny because you're improving the home as well, so just be mindful about that. Now, Uranus is the ruler of your career sector, so it could be that you're trying to consider what it is that you really want to achieve as a career goal, and it might be that some kind of new wave of technology or something in that kind of technological sphere really has the answer for you. It could be an idea that you have that kind of drives your work life forward, that is challenged by family commitments. Now, this day is a really good day for action regardless of this transit, because there's a grand fire trine in the sky, which basically means if you set forward on something, even with the challenges, it has, you know, a good chance to succeed. All right, so I'm going to put those there because those are for your moons. So what does the tarot have to say for you when it comes to, okay, that card seems to want out. You have the 2 of Cups, so partnership, relationship, with the 10 of Cups. Beautiful, look at that, and the High Priestess. So first of all, it looks like some of you are going to have a... first of all, I want to say this. Whether you're partnered or single, it looks like some of you have potentially a secret admirer that may reveal themselves to you at this time. It also suggests as well, on a more sort of personal level, home, you are loving home. Home, family, connection, commitment, all of that stuff is really great. It's just that it's pulling you in one direction and the career wants something else from you at the same time. That High Priestess does suggest that there are some really good things to come that you haven't yet had the fruits from or the enjoyment from, because the High Priestess is hidden things revealed. Now, this also suggests to me that you are having a very profound experience of home, loving home, being really connected to yourself as well. I think because the 2 of Cups and the 10 of Cups are 2 very bright cards. If you're single, you suddenly, like, your self-worth and esteem and value just skyrocket this month, and you really start to understand what it is that you bring to the table, what it is that you have to offer in a way that you haven't felt for a very long time. So I love that for you. And also, because it's the 10 of Cups, there's a potential here to turn your ideas into money, especially if you work from home, with homes, property and or real estate. So the second transit that I want to look at is on the 11th of July. Mercury is going to enter Leo, which is coming into your fourth house, again, of home, family, property, real estate. This is interesting, and it's a big deal because Mercury rules your money house, right? So it rules your finances because it's the ruler of your second house, Gemini. This is a boost of finances that comes into the home. So again, if you work from home, with homes, etc., this is you really having a lot of fun with making money in some way, shape or form. So Mercury coming into this home sector, home is going to be loud, it's going to be fun, it's going to be busy, and you are going to be loving it. There is a potential for a lot of enjoyment coming here. And what I really like for you as well is, because it rules that second house, it's making more money from or through your home in some regard. It's also possible that if you get your home valued at this time while Mercury is in Leo, so it'll be about 4 weeks from the 11th of July, you could get like it, you could have it valued, and the report comes back and says it's actually worth more than you thought it was, or more than you paid for it. So that could be really great. I wouldn't be surprised if a family member or a friend tries to fix you up, but this time they get it right. So I love that for you. All right, so you've got the 10 of Wands, okay, with the 4 of Wands, wow, and the 9 of Pentacles. This is fun, frolics, enjoyment. This is really, I gotta say to you, at least for the week that follows the 11th of July, let loose, have fun, let your hair down and just enjoy. This is celebrations, really good news coming in around a very practical matter. That 9 of Pentacles is enjoying the finer things of life. Buy yourself the good wine and the good chocolate. I know on the 11th of July, I'm not a Taurus obviously, but I know on the 11th of July I will be one day out of my 100 days of no sugar or carbs or anything like it. And trust me, y'all, it's been good, but it's been hard. So the 11th of July, I think I might take my own advice and go in. But it's a really, really great day. And like I said, this transit is going to be very kind to you guys. Now, what do we see? You've got the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Cups. 2 10s represents change. So where it's been hard or forced, where things have been really challenging on the home front, maybe even with your emotional outlook and or your physical health, things are vastly going to improve with that Mercury ingress. So I love this for you. On the 20th of July, Mars is going to oppose Saturn, and this is happening across the 5th and 11th houses for you. So, Virgo for you is that 5th house energy, right? And Pisces for you is the 11th house. So Mars is in your 5th house at this time, and it's kind of bringing you the drive to complete tasks like of a creative nature. It's also helping you release any shyness around sex and pleasure and getting what you need. It might also be that you're getting proactive on some kind of exercise regime. I really like this for finding a brave energy within you to approach like a hard subject, but with a really skilled manner. As the ruler of your 12th and your 7th, maybe this is announcing an old connection or project that's returning to the forefront. It is the connections, because this is your connections axis, right? So, friends, etc. Now, Saturn in the 11th house for you means you need to get serious about your group associations, friendship ties, what and who you are connected to. Friends might feel like a bit of a burden at this time, and the chances are you're in a position where you might need to choose. So it's like you can have a big social life or you can have big career success, but right now you can't have both. It's one or the other, all right? So like I said, this Mercury is bringing a lot of enjoyment to the home, which is great. So it's like finding cheaper ways to have fun, finding specific times, right? You know what? Saturday night, I'm going to get together with my guys and my girls. We're going to have some drinks. We're going to have some food. The rest of the time, the other 6 days, work, 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 right? This is about learning to compartmentalize because you have a big goal in mind. And it's kind of saying to you, you can either socialize all the time and, do all of that always, or you can have the career, but you can't have both at the moment. And in order to have both, you're going to need a solid strategy. For this, you've got the Moon card, you've got the Fool card. Very interesting. The Fool card has been very active for this specific transit, which tells me that we're going to feel this on the wider world stage in some regard. Now, for you personally, this is going to highlight a personal vulnerability. Now, here you've got the Nine of Wands with the Nine of Pentacles, and you've got the Moon card, which is number 18. 1 and 8 gives you 9. 3 nines represents success. 2 nines represents receipts. Now, what this tells me is this transit, someone has promised you something and they're going to try to renege on it. When they do, ignore the knee-jerk reaction that your whole body and mind says, hey, you know, I want the... Don't get into any of that. Make clear what you want, need and desire, and how you are choosing to proceed forward. Let them come into line. If you try to force it here, it is going to turn into a shit show. And a big part of this is you will be revealing a vulnerability that you maybe don't want to reveal at this moment in time. Another way that this potentially shows up with the Fool card, with the Nine of Wands, that's you potentially making a foolish mistake. All right, so just be very, very careful here. Now, on the 23rd of July, Mercury is going to square Uranus. So this is happening. Mercury is going to be in the 4th house. Uranus is in your 1st house and is going to be there for a good long while yet. Still got about 3 years of that Uranus in Taurus transit. So, you know, there's something in this about money and resources and your personal outlook on your career. So maybe for some of you, you're thinking, you know, I want to put my prices up, but you know right now isn't the time to do it. Your ruling planet is now going to be retrograde, is getting you to rethink how you feel and you think about your finances, how you think and feel about your home. Maybe you're refining some kind of agreement when it comes to home, property and family. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a gift from a family member that asks you to change your mind on something. So it's like, you know, when someone gives you something and says, well, you know, now that I've given you this, you know, I would like you to do this. They don't actually say it that way, but they give you the gift and then the request comes after. Be mindful that somebody might try to sweeten you up around this time. Mending a broken relationship, whether personal, professional or platonic, may also be on the cards for a lot of you. That's very possible. Just to go back here for a moment, this opposition between Mars and Saturn, you will feel this coming for a week before it hits. It just becomes exact on the 20th. Now on the 23rd of July, that Mercury square Uranus with Venus also going retrograde on the same day. Like I said, it feels like someone's trying to sweeten you up for something. Now you've got the Ace of Pentacles, nice, with the 3 of Pentacles, okay, and the 5 of Pentacles. This is going to be a moment of learning. All right, the 23rd of July, this transit is going to teach you something. And again, if you can ignore the first sort of knee-jerk reaction to do, you might actually gain some very valuable or potentially very lucrative insight. The Ace of Pentacles suggests a new path and or track that's opening up, possibly with career and or finances. The 3 of Pentacles is the knowledge that you're acquiring or gaining in some regard. And that 5 of Pentacles, there's a moment here where you kind of have to say to yourself, I'm willing to give this up in order to have that. Right, so there's something here, even more so, I think, than the Saturn transit. You know, the delayed gratification with the Saturn transit is you can have lots of fun and enjoyment, or you can have the big career. You can have both, just not at the same time right now. That's the question, right? But here, this is about the delayed gratification, and there's a question mark here. There's something that you're having to really think very hard about. And like I said, you might feel this. Maybe a friend or a family member or somebody that you know comes to you and they're like, oh, you know, I just want to give you this. And you're like, now that you've seen this, you're going to be like, yeah. What do you want? All right, so that's your transits for the month. Let's have a look at your moons. So on the 3rd of July, we've got the Capricorn full moon. That for you is happening in your 9th house of spiritual beliefs and realizations. For this, you've got the gate 44 and scenting. trust your instincts at this time. Like, really trust your instincts and your spiritual and or intuitive faculties, because that 3rd of July, that full moon, is going to highlight something to you in a really big, profound way. And it might be something that you kind of feel like, this is a download. The universe is giving me something big here. Something is being highlighted to you and it won't be ignored. Trust your instincts on it, because they can lead you to some really amazing paths. Potentially there's an international connection that comes in with this as well. On the oh gosh, what date is it? It's the 17th. On the 17th of July, you have the new moon. Oh, excuse me. On the 17th of July, you've got the new moon in the sign of Cancer, which for you is in your 3rd house. That gate 49 and revolution energy is known as the sleeping phoenix in human design. And the message that you get with this is basically, this is representing a big change point. Something on the ground in your local area, potentially with a sibling or within the neighborhood or the area that you live. There's going to be a profound change or shift. And when it happens, it will give you the fire and the power that you need to make a very big decision. So I'm not taking this one lightly. I think that Cancer new moon is going to be some shit. Right, not in a bad way, but I do feel like it's an initiation point for sure. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.